inside the eye of your mind. Don't you know you might find a better place to play? You said that you've never been, but all the things that you've seen will slowly fade away. So I start a revolution from my bed, 'cause you said the brains I had went to my head. Step outside, summertime's in bloom. Stand up beside the fireplace, take that look from off your face. You ain't ever gonna burn my heart out. And so Sally can wait, she knows it's too late as we're walking on by. Her soul slides away, but don't look back in anger, I heard you say. Take me to the place where you go, where nobody knows if it's not okay. But please don't put your life in the hands of a rock and roll band. We'll throw it all away. I'm gonna start a revolution from my bed, 'cause you said the brains I had went to my head. Step outside, 'cause summertime's in bloom. Stand up beside the fireplace, take that look from off your face, 'cause you ain't ever gonna burn my heart out. So Sally can wait, she knows it's too late as she's walking on by. My soul slides away, but don't look back in anger, I heard you say. Her soul slides away, but don't look back in anger, I heard you say. So Sally can wait, she knows it's too late and she's walking on by. My soul slides away, but don't look back in anger, don't look back in anger, I heard you say. At least not today.
I didn't say 100 days straight. Yes, we did. Non-commit equals no results. Oh God. Now I know you're a Carl Alt. God, you're so fucking annoying. Jesus. Carl, why don't you go and get your own fucking life and do your own fucking thing, and then you don't worry about what other people do. Then maybe you won't worry so much what I'm doing. All right? Jesus. God damn. Some of these girls are looking. It's almost time. I can feel it. It's almost time for Fat Boy Summer. It's coming. Oh, it's a coming. Okay. So I decided to play hooky yesterday. And yeah, we went to the tar pits. It was fun. Yeah. Typical deflection answer. Exactly. That's exactly what I was saying. What I was gonna say. Monica Deanda, hello. You're not bad looking. Monica. It's my ex-wife's name, Monica. Yeah, women's. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's summer. I got my kids, so I'm next week when I don't have her, then I will go back out. Okay? Is that okay with you? Can I go protest on the days that I can and want to? I'm in it for the long haul. I'm not in it for a day or two. So maybe I will protest for 100 days. I don't know. We'll see. We do things. We take life one day at a time over here. Okay, I don't know what you guys are doing. The present, not in the past or distant future. Uh, all right, so yeah, yeah. I mean, I just you know that's why I did that at the duck park too. Like I just streamed for like a minute just to show you how nice of a day it is. Go out and do something, people. It took me one day to make a sign, all right? It took me one day. Right? Sometimes I divided it up. Jesus. You want me to make more signs, don't you? I still have to make more signs. I'm already out of signs. I only got one sign left. I only got this one left. The other one I left them. So I should make another sign. Spoonie. So look, let me show you. Let me show you what I want to do. Okay. Shit. So look, you see this thing? It's one of those real estate signs. So look, I'm gonna poke a couple holes, you know, like that. But I was thinking, see this thing right here? Spoonie sent me these. Spoonie sent me these. So what I could do here is I could put it right there, and I could make a little one, and I could put, I don't know, like this is her office sign, or I don't know, something. All right. But I got a bunch of these left. Oh, hello. And then I have a bunch of these left. The only thing about these is that Spoonie sent me the wrong ones. So these go in this way. They don't go in this way. I don't think I can make them go in this way. I don't know why. So I'm still thinking. I already explained this. I have my daughter. It's summer vacation. I'm not gonna, take her out there. What would the point of she doesn't want to go out there with me and stand out there for an hour? Get out of here. I do have everything I need. I've thought it out very carefully. So I'm in it for the long haul. You guys, you guys are just bored. You guys just want me to go out there and make a fool of myself, so you can just laugh it up. But whatever. Laugh it up. So anything going on? You made me miss the weather. God damn you. Music. What I need is for you to come up here. I need for you to come up here and explain to me, explain it to me. What I should be doing, you know? What should I be doing? Exactly. Yet I have to, because if not, then they cry about it. Then they cry and they make shit up. Anyways. Losers. Losers. All right. Anything going on? Al and Charlie midweek trash heap. Oh, I'm sure that was fun. What else? Anything else on? Benton is on. Boo. Slow news day. Oh, did they replace? This is true, Nancy. Uh, why do you think I don't care what these people think? I really don't, because they have nothing in their lives. So they're just jealous. They're just jelly. JFK. So, what should we look into today? Liberal has no meaning, and you're entitled to nothing. Interesting. Hot tub electrocution. Oh, it's terrible. It's a terrible way to die.
Immediately without touching any metal fixtures. So frightening.
Oh, that is awful. On
Scary.
vacation. Wow. Well, we warned you about this last month. You may notice you can no longer see what someone else is liking on X.
The platform started hiding likes from profiles yesterday. Now, you can still like posts, but other people won't be able to see what you like. Elon Musk has said it's important for people to like posts without getting attacked for doing so. The company believes this will lead users to like.
It wasn't hot. It's June gloom, so in the morning out here it's pretty cloudy, and then in the afternoon, that's when it starts to get really hot. So luckily we made it out there before. I think we got there like around 11:30, so just around the perfect time. So yeah, we walked all around. She wanted to see. I mean, technically it's not a dinosaur bone. Technically, woolly mammoths aren't dinosaurs, right? So I think I think that one is still on the list. I don't consider. She wanted to see dinosaur bones or dinosaur fossils, but I don't think that counts, right? So a woolly mammoth is not a dinosaur. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, we made a list of summer things to do this summer. So I don't know. She doesn't really want to do anything specific. So she just has a bunch of lists, a bunch of things on her list she wants to do. All right. So let's look at
this Reuters element here. Hamas has responded to the Biden/Israel proposal that we'll talk about this in a moment, saying that it opens a broad pathway, was one of the quotes that they had. And they said they had a couple of amendments to the Israeli proposal, but in general said that they were now simply negotiating details around the final terms of a ceasefire for this war. Now,
yeah, exactly. Technically, I don't think they're dinosaurs, right? Because dinosaurs are older. Right?
Israeli authorities have put a different spin on it. You put up a rock repeat here at Axios. Israeli officials telling Axios Israel received Hamas's response. Hamas rejected the proposal for a hostage deal, which was laid out by President Biden in his speech. Hamas is saying that is not the case, that they're not rejecting it, that they have a few quibbles around the edges. So let's move through these here. You can put up Blinken, who landed in Qatar today, pressing forward with these negotiations. Here is Blinken yesterday laying out his position on everybody else's position.
First, let me be very clear. Israel has accepted the proposal. In fact, they were critical in putting it forward. So the only party, no, that is what the official position of the Israeli government, the Prime Minister. So the only party that has not accepted, the only party that's not said yes, is Hamas.
Meanwhile, Netanyahu has called the proposal, the Israeli proposal, a non-starter if it does not allow Israel to indefinitely continue the war until Hamas is dismantled. But that's not what the agreement itself says. And Israel has acknowledged that it did send this agreement to Hamas, the agreement that Biden then elevated to try to trap Netanyahu into accepting it. On CNN, there was an interesting exchange which shows that what's going on here is Israel is willing to accept the deal that they put forward, but that doesn't necessarily mean they, quote unquote, support it. Some interesting linguistic gymnastics here. Let's roll CNN from last night.
This deal is Israel's proposal. Why can't Netanyahu say outright that he supports it?
Well, I don't know what he said to Secretary Blinken today when they met. But the fact that I wasn't instructed to speak out against the deal means that we accept the deal.
Does it? Wouldn't it mean that you support it if you could come out and say you supported it?
But I'm saying here that we accept the deal. Again, it pretty much depends on the way it will be interpreted by the negotiators, because Hamas,
Ambassador, you're saying we support it, but you're not just saying unequivocally that Israel does support it.
Because the words are very important. Because when you say that if the negotiations continues after 6 weeks, we need to continue with the ceasefire, so Hamas can exploit this clause and continue with endless and meaningless negotiations that means nothing. Obviously, that wasn't the meaning of President Biden.
So that's the key difference there, that the proposal says that after the first phase, which would include hostage exchanges, elderly, women, others who are infirm and at risk would be released in exchange for a significant number of Palestinian hostages that are held in detention by Israel. After that, there would be 6 weeks of negotiations toward a permanent ceasefire, although the Israeli proposal says lasting ceasefire. Hamas, in its response, wants to change that from lasting ceasefire to permanent ceasefire. But the key point that the ambassador was making there is that if the negotiations are still ongoing in 6 weeks, the agreement says that the ceasefire.
So I mean, there is an argument to be made that these people. So there's an argument to be made that these people are the Nazis now. These people, they do not want to accept. They don't want a peace treaty. They want them annihilated. They want them wiped off the map. So, I mean, are we going to talk about that? Are we going to talk about how Jewish people have turned into the thing that they say that they hate? Magic. No scratching. Be scratching my couches. Fuck you up, Magic.
Fire should continue as long as the negotiations are making progress. Israel is saying that it wants the right at that moment to relaunch its war. And what some of Netanyahu's allies have said to him in getting him to agree to this is look, you can restart the war after 6 weeks if you want to, like no matter what this agreement says. And they've argued that Hamas will do something that will give you a green light to go ahead and do that. And if not, you can always manufacture something. So that he was zeroing in on this kind of pause, this 6 week gap between phase 1 and phase 2 seems to be the central distinction here. Emily, we've seen this just kind of head spinning game back and forth where you continue to have Blinken saying, no, the Israeli government supports this. And you'll have Netanyahu right next to him practically saying, no, don't support this, don't support this. He's like, no, definitely supports this. Blinken met with Netanyahu.
Yes, this is an important distinction. Not all Jewish people, but there are some Jewish people who are religious zealots, right? I mean, the religious zealots that want to rebuild the Temple of David, and they're trying to bring about doomsday. Those people should not be in positions of power. I'm sorry, but there should be a separation of church and state.
Netanyahu yesterday, and he was asked, did Netanyahu explicitly say that he supported this? And Blinken said, yes, he did. Linda Thomas-Greenfield, the UN ambassador, was asked to explain this, to say, you keep saying Israel supports this. Israel keeps saying that they do not. Like, how do you fill in that gap? And she said, look, I can't, they have some, whatever domestic political concerns that they have that are leading them to say this, basically, you'll have to ask them about it. But in private, in discussions with us, they have been very clear that they accept this. If let's use his term. And he makes a good point that the Israeli official there, that the fact that Netanyahu did not instruct him to oppose it at the UN, despite the fact that previously the Israeli ambassador to the UN said that they would oppose it at the UN. They don't get a vote, but they said that they would oppose it because it's a Security Council and they're not on the Security Council. That alone tells you that they're willing to, quote unquote, accept it. So do you think we're getting to a place where we actually sort of now understand what's going on here?
Yes, I agree with that. And I do think we are, because I think Israel is increasingly aware, as I'm sure Hamas is, that the difference between lasting and permanent will ultimately be who can use that illusion as a cudgel sooner or more effectively, because we all know that this is not going to be a lasting or permanent peace. And the reporting that you just mentioned about Israel in the negotiations sort of internally over there says what we all know. This is not lasting. This is not a permanent ceasefire. That's an illusion, or maybe a delusion. But I don't even think there's anybody delusional enough to think that that's the case. Meanwhile, though, lives hang in the balance amidst our ability to at least agree to the illusion, to at least agree in theory, to at least agree on paper. And that's a very strange place to be. It's sort of obvious that.
I agree with this, Obviously, this isn't over. So it's depressing. People killing each other over nothing.
Progressive Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez denounced anti-Semitism in progressive spaces. Let's watch.
Right now, anti-Semitism is on the rise in America and across the world. Acknowledging that fact does not take away from fights for liberation.
So see, and then they do shit like this, you know, where, oh, it's anti-Semitism, people. So they're not going to acknowledge that there's a lot of religious zealots who want to fucking, murder these people. They're just going to gaslight everybody and say, oh, it's anti-Semitism. You're just anti-Semitist. You're be careful because you're anti-Semitism. You're stupid because you're not distinguishing, bullshit, whatever.
Actually advances them. And the growth of anti-Semitic attacks and rhetoric before and since October 7th is unacceptable to all of us who believe in a better world, period.
What's harder for us as progressives to recognize or understand is when
Like yesterday, I was on the west side of LA. I went to the La Brea Tar Pits yesterday. I went to the large. Go drive down Olympic. Go drive down, Pico on the west side of LA and tell me, why is it that whole fucking town, that they own that whole fucking town? So don't tell me that I'm fucking racist when you can clearly go down there and you can see that who owns the west side of LA. And tell me, like if I were to go out there, that's where I should be protesting. I should go over there and protest. See how fast someone calls the cops on me down there, or I get into some shit down there. Because I'm telling you, go down to the west side of LA and I don't know. So I'm full of hate. Yeah.
anti-Semitism shows up and is normalized in our own spaces. And I want to be frank here. There is very real anti-Semitism that is in fact showing up in progressive spaces right now. And it's deeply painful and hurtful to Jews.
Another guest, a former top Anti-Defamation League official, went further and said this.
If your criticism of Israel is trafficking and stereotypes, you're really in the bigotry zone. I mean, stereotypes kill. That's how the Nazis got the German people to live with this so-called final solutions.
Why did no one tell drivers about this new rule?
All right, if you're currently insured, you drive less.
AOC's video follows a Monday night Another guest, a former top Anti-Defamation League official, went further and said this.
If your criticism of Israel is trafficking and stereotypes, you're really in the bigotry zone. I mean, stereotypes kill. That's how the Nazis got the German people to live with this so-called final solutions.
AOC's video follows a Monday night pro-Palestine protest in New York City, where the protesters gathered outside an exhibition that was commemorating those killed by Hamas at the Nova Musical Festival on October 7th.
Now, the Washington Examiner was not convinced of AOC's position on anti-Semitism. Author Zachary Faria wrote, quote, virulent anti-Semitism we are seeing at college protests is coming from students who are neck deep in the ideology of the progressive movement. Ocasio-Cortez is worried about her political movement being tainted and perhaps even future primary woes, not about the tolerance of her progressive movement. Her track record and choice of allies make it clear that her concerns are cynical, not sincere. Others were disappointed with AOC's video for different reasons. Popular ex-user Caitlin Johnstone tweeted, quote, if you are helping to validate the completely fictional narrative that there's an epidemic of anti-Semitism on the political left, you're a facilitator of Israeli atrocities. You are helping the imperial war machine murder children.
I agree with this. If your position is, oh, there's anti-Semitism, oh, you're just anti-Semitism, bullshit. You're fucking gaslighting these people. See, I don't think there's a problem, Nancy. But my thing is like, I'm not saying that there's a problem with people living in a place, okay? My thing is the west side of LA is where the rich people live, okay? The west side of LA is where, all of the Hollywood, all of the entertainment people are, okay? So what I'm saying is that are we ever gonna be able to discuss whether or not there is some sort of, Jewish media mafia? I mean, am I a racist for asking the question? How do you think that they're getting so much support for the atrocities that they're doing? They're using their media influence. Why do you think why did they fire Brianna Joy Gray? Because they have too much influence and power. The people that you can't speak out against, that you can't say, those are the people that are in charge. Those are the people that are the monsters. When you can't criticize the people that you can't criticize because everybody will turn on you, those are the people that are in charge. Whatever.
I don't know if that's the case. I think we saw plenty. We saw at least some. It's hard to quantify, right? There a lot of the protests on college campuses. They have every right to engage in First Amendment protected activity. They have the right to object to what Israel's doing, our funding of it. I object to some of it as well. That's fine. They should not engage in anti-Semitic slogans or chants. Some of them did. I don't know that characterizes the majority. At some campuses, it seemed like it was just a tiny number of them. More of them at others. I took particular exception to campuses like this happened at one of the UC campuses where the pro-Palestine demonstrators actually blocked areas of campus and would not let students that they perceived to be pro-Israel, which in some cases seems like it was just students they perceived to be Jewish, from entering the area. Like, you can't occupy campus and say no one else can enter it. That was totally disgusting behavior. So I think, yes, AOC is correct to call out anti-Semitism, I guess, although I agree that it's just totally politically cynical here because she wants to be perceived as a more centrist, frankly, Democrat.
Oh, I don't think she wants to be.
I mean, the left hates her, and it's things like this that have caused her.
I don't think she wants to be perceived as more centrist, certainly. But she's being responsive to what was happening in New York City, right? That is her turf before national politics is, and it is pretty horrible to start protesting the fact that people died, right? I think people died, and whether those people were Jewish or Palestinian, we should not be celebrating anyone's death. I think we lose a piece of our humanity when we can't empathize with family members or people who have died. That said,
you just look crazy when you.
I mean, some of protest is supposed to be uncomfortable. Protest is not supposed to be here in this box over here. You can wave your signs and make it more convenient for the system and the structure, right? Yeah. It is the idea of confronting power that makes protest powerful. Sure. It's supposed to be, to some degree, disruptive. Now, the line ends up.
I don't agree. So see, that's the thing. That's a complicated one right there, because while I agree that you shouldn't speak ill of the dead and you should let people mourn and all that stuff. But see, that's a tough one. But I mean, why are they being mourned? Why are they, you can't have one. It's like the chicken and the egg thing. I don't know. So they're dead because you're in a war. You guys are fighting a war, and you're an occupying force, and you've stolen these people's land, and you've put them all in an open air prison that's 5 miles wide, 26 miles long, and you don't think that they're going to retaliate? You don't think that they have the right to retaliate? I don't know, guys. I don't know. Is it wrong? Should you kill people? No. But should you steal their land and put them in an open air prison and watch them slowly die of starvation? Is that any better than what you're doing? So you're killing people slowly by starvation. That's okay. But when you kill them quickly and violently, that's not okay. I don't know. So all these people who want to talk about anti-Semitism, like, go live in an open air prison, go have someone steal your land, and then tell me that it's okay and to not, that the anti-Semitism is the problem. Then tell me that that's the real problem. That the problem is that the Palestinians hate the Jewish people. That's not the problem. Yeah, where are they gonna go? You've stolen their land. You people are colonizers, and I think that's why that we don't want to have this conversation. We don't want to bring up how we did the same thing to the Native Americans. We don't want to bring up, slavery, all the fucking horrible things that we've done. We don't even want to say it. We just want to say it's anti-Semitism. We don't even want to, steal land. We would never steal land. I didn't say they were dying for nothing. Why don't you come up here and explain it to me, since you have such a hard on for me, huh, Chrissy? All right. Which one of my ex-girlfriends are you? Lauren, shut up. That's funny. Oh.
In the building to shelter in place, while employees in other places on campus were told to leave. Last night, the school confirmed less than a dozen school employees were inside of the building, but would not say if the school's president was among them. But protesters say the school's president has been silent for about 20 days, and they say that they just received an email this week reiterating basically what she's already told them.
We're tired of being ignored, so this is the tactic that we've chosen. Something I want to make very clear, the tactic being used here, we have folks that have chained themselves to the front door of the building. They will not unchain themselves until we have a commitment from the university president to divest university funds away from this genocide.
That protester we spoke to said they didn't know the school's president was even inside of the building, and they told us that they were not keeping anyone inside. People were allowed to leave whenever.
Two boomers, crying about, other, talking shit about other people. Blah, boo.
Don't think property is sacred. They say
No
the school
one
receives
cares.
money from student protesters, yet they don't.
Even Charlie and Al's family don't care what they think.
Out here, you can see all of the furniture that was used to barricade the outside of this building. Classes are remote until further notice, and we have reached out to the school to find out more information about how the school's president is doing, but we haven't heard back. On Cal State LA's campus, Jaysha Patel, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Wow, chaotic night for sure, Jaysha. Thank you. Meantime, commencement ceremonies begin today at UCLA, and security is expected to be tight. Yesterday, Julio Frank was announced as the university's new chancellor, replacing Gene Block, who announced he was retiring. Frank.
Who's my only pay piggy? I don't even have any pay piggies. I wish I had pay piggies. Anyways, all right, guys. I'm gonna end it short today. Yeah. Have a great day. Stay out of trouble. Spoon's not my pay piggy. Anyways. Whoops. All right, there we go. All right, have a great day. Stay out of trouble. Be productive. Behave. All that jazz. I don't know. I'm pretty sure JFK is a Carl Alt. Chrissy is probably a Lotus Alt. But is that you? Is that you? Huh? Is that you, Lotus? Anyways, have a great day. Stay out of trouble. Be productive. Behave. All that jazz. Life's too short, people. Bye. Make it a great day. Make it a great day.